Your walk is changing your jawline, yet most people are not ready to hear this. Something as simple as the way that you walk, for most people, would have no connection with the way that their face looks, let alone something very specific like their jawline. But I'm putting forth to you, as someone who has spent 4 years researching, applying, and transforming not only my appearance, but the appearances of all of my clients, that your walk completely and fundamentally determines your appearance. So let's get into how this even happens and how you can leverage it. So why does this happen? And why does the way that you walk determine so much about your appearance and your jaw? Well, let's think about what the jaw does structurally. Your jaw is what frames your entire face. It is what sits right at the foundation, at the crux of your entire appearance, isn't it? Why are attractive faces more often than not seen with very defined jaws? Because that means that evolutionarily speaking, the face looks like it is structurally supported. Think about a building. People aren't going to enter, let alone even want to be close to a building that has, or even has threats of having a weak foundation. Think about the Leaning Tower of Pisa until it became one of the 7 world wonders. Before, guess what? People were so afraid of it. People didn't want to go close to it. People tried to fix it. It's the same thing with appearance. It's quite frankly the same thing with your face. And the jawline is what determines that. So given we understand this, let's now put on our mathematical minds. We understand what a scale factor is. If we have a square, and we have the same square but much bigger, we understand that this is simply expanded using a scale factor of, let's say, 3. The same thing is true with regards to your appearance. Every single bone on your face has its own analog on the body, because guess what? Your looks is determined by your well-being, and your well-being encompasses every aspect of your body, not just your face. So if we think about the foundation of the face, which we now have proven is the jaw, the foundation of the body is the way that you walk. What does your jaw do every day? Well, you chew food thousands of times a day, don't you? What do you also do with your body thousands of times a day? You walk. So do you see how these two are connected through something called the kinetic chain theory? The kinetic chain theory quite simply states that every part of the body is actually an interconnected system. Everything is connected. So we need to be leveraging this connection for our own improvements to actually improve our well-being and our appearance. So how should you not walk? Well, you need to make sure that you're walking to align your pelvis. The pelvis is what's going to articulate between your legs and your upper body, the torso, isn't it? The pelvis is what acts as the intermediary. What is the human skull equivalent? Let's think about it. If I show you what your skull roughly looks like, we're going to see that we've already quantified that the jaw is what the legs are. But what is the pelvis? The pelvis is what articulates between the legs, so the jaw here, and the rest of your body, the upper jaw, the maxillary bone. So if we know that the torso is going to be the equivalent to the maxillary bone, it means that whatever articulates between the legs and the torso, the jaw and the maxilla, is the equivalent of the pelvis, and that is the sphenoid bone. Now, this may just sound like we're going very deep into biology, and it really is interesting. But in simple terms, the sphenoid bone is often referred to as the butterfly bone because it has 2 wings. Guess what also has 2 wings? That's right, your pelvis. Do you see how the human body is so interconnected? And this is why it took me 4 years of research and applying this to actually get to the position where I am today. No amount of just reading this somewhere would actually get you this level of correspondence between your face and your body, because no one else has connected it in such a dignified and sophisticated manner. And this is also why the level of transformation that everyone I've worked with, that all of my clients have had, has never been repeated anywhere else. You will not be able to find anywhere with this level of transformation, with people's appearances, with people's well-being and people's health, because I have demystified it and uncovered it. This entire process was designed for you to transform yourself, and I called it the levy system. So what should you not do specifically with walking? We know that the pelvis is this important, this abundantly important for your appearance through the sphenoid and your entire body. So we cannot risk having the pelvis rotated outwards. Imagine if you started to have your teeth rotated outwards. It's not going to be a good sign. Same thing with your legs. You cannot be having your pelvis rotate outwards. And what causes it to rotate outwards? Your legs. If your feet are going to be rotating outwards when you walk, guess what? The consequences travel along your entire body. It literally makes your face start to sink. It sinks into the hole that you're making every step you're taking, where your feet are not parallel and instead wide. That is how fundamentally important your walk is. Yet most people, as I said at the beginning of this video, are not aware of it. So, what should you be doing? As you can already infer, you need to walk with your feet together and straight. Secondly, you need to make sure that you're taking adequately long strides. If you're walking with really short steps, guess what? You're not actually using your legs, and you're not using the bones that support your body to the level that they should be. And not only that, once you can effectively and properly walk, you need to be walking more. You need to actually be using what the legs were designed for. Imagine that you want to develop a very attractive jaw, but you're not actually chewing food. You decide to just drink liquid calories all day. You're not going to get anywhere because the jaw is not doing its job. Similarly, you can't expect the kinetic chain theory that actually encompasses your entire body to work in your favor if you're not using it. That is how simple it is. Yet you need to stay true to it. But it's not just about walking. Your jaw has a whole other dimension to it that most people also haven't even heard of. With walking, most people aren't receptive. Most people wouldn't actually be able to link it together. But with bone remodeling, and this is what I spent an abundant majority of the 4 years that I spent dialed in on this, actually researching, bone remodeling fundamentally alters your jaw structure, giving you an attractive jaw. And that is one of the many things that I have talked about in great detail for you to apply inside of the levy system. And that is linked right below. You can click on it, watch the video where I outline my own life story, why I made the levy system and what is inside. And then you can join, and I will see you inside.